Welcome back. I think I'm on day 9 of my new program, and I'm going to analyze my Lichess rapid game from last night, and if I have time, I'm going to do some puzzles. Not Puzzle Rush this time, but actual puzzles, because I was in the middle of Puzzle Run 4 or whichever puzzle run I was on, and I haven't gotten back to that in a little while, so I'm going to work on that, assuming I can get through this game in a short amount of time, which I think I can, because the game review says I had 0 blunders, 0 mistakes, 0 inaccuracies for a total accuracy of 98% and 6 average centipawn loss. My opponent only made 1 mistake and 1 inaccuracy. So I'm pretty happy with this game. I just want to look at it really quick to make sure that it went as well as the game review seems to think that it did. I did play the English one more time, and after my study recently, I was kind of prepared for whatever they played. That was unusual though, because that wasn't in the common lines. If you look here at the book right before that, actually that was there. Why didn't I take a look at knight to c6 here? It's only 16% of the games, but I guess everything else is less common. I think it's the first time that I've seen it, but I that was unexpected to me, so I wasn't sure what to do. I just went about with my normal English, which again, that threw me off. I just went ahead and played g3. My opponent got the other knight out. I fianchettoed the bishop, and already I feel like I'm in a slightly better position because, they've blocked one of their own pawns. I'm aimed at it. I have 1 pawn here to move, and then I can castle after I get this knight out, I guess. My opponent brought this bishop to a normal position. It says a3 is actually my best move, and d3 is my second best move. But e3 is pretty close. That's what I played because that's what I have been playing. And one reason that I chose e3 over d3 is because of where the bishop just went. And, I'm keep having this problem with people. A lot of my opponents just getting a couple of knights and a bishop out, sometimes just 1 knight and bishop out, and then immediately start attacking. And I thought, you know what, I can put a stop to that right now. Go ahead and put the knight here and then castle. It was one of my opponent's top moves to castle, and they did, and one of my best moves to put the knight there, and now I'm ready to castle. The engine says my opponent should play d5 now, and if they did, it says I would take it with this knight. I don't know. I think if they played d5, I would take it with the pawn, wouldn't I? That's one of the reasons for having this pawn here in the English, but the engine thinks I would take it with my knight. My opponent wasn't ready to go all the way up. I think they just wanted to get their other bishop out, so they played d6, and now this bishop's ready to come out. It is my, wait, it says if they played d6, it would be plus 0.6, plus 0.6, but after they played it, it's 0.8 if I castle, and I did, but then the evaluation drops back a little bit to 0.7. It's not one of their top 5 moves to put this bishop on g4, which is what they did. And when they did it, it put me up to plus 1, according to Stockfish here, but only if I play h3. We've run into this in a bunch of my evaluations. Whenever the opponent puts a piece on one of these, either b4 or g4, I'm supposed to play a3 or h3, depending on which side they're on. And I kept missing it. I kept just letting them leave their piece there, and then I would go ahead and play something else. But it's happened so many times that I remembered it last night, and so I played h3 here. I expected them to drop back, which is what happened, I think, the last time I played this against an opponent, and the engine says they should put it back on its home square or almost all the way back, or go ahead and take the knight, or just drop it back 1 and leave it sitting right back there on f5. But they did what I expected them to do, which was drop back here, but it was counted as inaccurate, but only if I played g4 or a3, which the engine's been wanting me to play for a little while now, even though that bishop is way over there. If I play a3, what is it going to do? It's going to keep them from coming down, but if I jump up, they can always go back, and then I can't catch it before they can escape. So I'm not sure why a3 is recommended. But I went ahead and played g4 here because it's pointed at this knight, and I might want to move this knight. Also, one of the reasons I put the knight here is to protect the d4 push or an f4 push. And I can't use it to protect either one of those while it spins to my queen. So that's why I played g4 here, which pushes them back, and now it allows me to play d4. Okay, so I am getting better. I think I'm understanding this opening because, again, that's why I put the knight there, to protect either d4 or f4. I thought d4 was better here. They have 3 pieces pointed at d4, but once I put my pawn there, then I also will have 3 pieces pointed at d4. So I did go there. It's not their best move to take. They should just drop the bishop back. And it says I wouldn't chase it with this pawn, which makes sense because they can take it. They would just push it back, and then I would play f4. Well, I don't know if I would have or not, but instead they took, which is what I thought they would do, and I took with the pawn, and now, yes, they still have 2 pieces pointed here, but I have 2 pieces pointed there, and I think I'm going to end up winning any exchanges that happen. Here I expected my opponent to drop this bishop this way in order to trade it for the knight, and possibly, well, they wouldn't mess up my pawn structure because of where this other knight is. Or I expected them to drop back this way. And this time, when my opponent played their next move, I knew that it was a mistake because they didn't move that bishop. They moved the rook. How much time did they spend on that? 15 seconds. Okay, so that wasn't a pre-move. I was also pretty sure it wasn't a trap. Like I said, when it happened, I was pretty sure it was a mistake. I don't know how long I hesitated here. It says 9:12 on my clock, and oh, I just took 1 second. Okay, so I didn't hesitate long. Well, that surprises me that I moved that quickly, because in my mind, in my memory, I remember feeling a little stunned by this rook move and thinking, wait, did they give me the bishop? But that thought process must have happened a lot faster than I remembered, because I took the bishop almost immediately, and they took back with that pawn. So now I'm a piece ahead, and they've got doubled pawns. Our queens are facing each other. It is my best move to take their queen, looks like. Okay, so I did that, and they took back with their rook. So they have 2 rooks on an open file. Both of them are on open files, which I think is best. One thing I hadn't done here yet is develop this bishop. So I was very strongly considering putting this bishop here. I like the fact that the 2 knights are defending each other. However, oh, I'm surprised it's my best move. I thought, rather than leaving this bishop here where it can't do anything much, why not go ahead and take this and triple their pawns? And all 3 of those pawns will be useless because I have one in front of them. And that one I can protect pretty easily if they come after it. But yeah, I'm glad to see that that was my best move. So I did that. They took back. And now look at those tripled pawns. And again, they're not going anywhere. I'm about to play my B pawn to protect my C pawn. And they've got 3 C pawns that are all completely useless. Now, after they took back, I did go ahead and develop the dark squared bishop to here, which of course targets this pawn that they cannot protect. Wait, they can protect it. Is that their best move? No, their best move is H5. Okay, but that's their second best move to protect that pawn. At the time, I thought they couldn't protect it, but it does look like they can. And my opponent resigned there, so I guess they thought, you know, what can they do? I think if I was them, that's probably what I would have played to protect this pawn, because if they don't, I'm going to get that, and then I'm going to get that one. Let's see. Oh, it says if they played H5, I would just go ahead and take it, and then they would take it with the bishop. Oh, and then I would want to get this knight. Let's see. H5, G takes H5, bishop takes H5, and then I wouldn't want to trade the knights here. I would go ahead, I would escape with this knight to G3, I guess, to block my king. I don't know if I would have or not. So they have a couple of little threats here that all would be very easy to counter. Like I said, you know, this one is easy to counter, whatever. Now, if they did something silly like H6, then I'm going to take this pawn and I'm going to be aiming at that one. So I felt like I was in pretty good position here when they resigned, and I was pretty happy with the way that I played. Had my opponent not made that mistake here of not saving the bishop, had they played their best move, I'm still up +2. Now, I don't know why, because we've just exchanged 1 pawn. And it says I'm up +2 whether I play F4 or bishop to G5. And I'm up almost +2 if I play A4. I don't know if I would have found any of those. But yeah, if my opponent had just saved their bishop here, I think I probably would have been tempted to move this pawn forward. But I guess that would have allowed the knight out. How bad would that have been? Oh, that would have been pretty bad. Yeah, see, my opponent should have kept playing. No, I don't mean when they resigned. I mean right here. They shouldn't have given me the bishop, which is what they did. But since they did give me the bishop. Oh, my heater has just kicked on. I don't know if I mentioned it here, but a few days ago, we hit 100 degrees. Not here at the house, but over on another side of town. Here we just got into the 90s in February, and the other side of town we hit 100, just like 3 days ago. But today it's in the low 40s, and so the heater has kicked on. Yeah, this weather is doing some, you know, pogo stick type patterns here. But anyway, not much to learn from this other than to, I guess, confirm to myself that I'm making some progress with this opening. Let me switch over to the other site and do some puzzles. All right, I haven't done rated puzzles on chess.com in probably a couple of weeks. I don't remember exactly how long it's been, but I do need to do some instead of just doing Puzzle Rush every day. Okay, I'm playing with the black pieces. Let's see. Ooh, my opponent is getting pretty close to checkmating me, looks like. But I'm getting pretty close to checkmating them, aren't I? Let's see. My light squared bishop's cutting off some squares here. If I check them with my rook, that'll cut off these, and that will leave the king only 1 legal move. And then I would check here with this bishop. And I think all they could do at that point is block with the rooks. And well, with this rook, they would have to come back and block. And I think I would just take it and that'll be mate. I'm probably missing something, but that looks pretty cut and dried to me. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. Okay. And then it has to be this, right? Or wait, is it this? No, if it's that, they can get out. And then when I check them with the bishop, they can continue getting out, I think. So I think I have to check them here first. Oh, it stopped, even though that's not mate. All right. Right? Because they have to block, and then I would take. I just want to confirm that I'm correct, that that's their only legal move at this point. Yeah, that gave me mate in 3. Okay, so they only have 1 legal move here, and I only have 1 move that's good for me. They only have 1 legal move, which is rook to f4 like I thought. And then I only have one move that's good for me, so why didn't the puzzle continue? No one knows. All right. It wasn't rated here, so I'm going to rate it as mate. No, I'm not going to rate it as a mate in 3 because it didn't go all the way to mate. Wow. Let's go to the next one. Okay, again, I'm playing with the black pieces. Let's see. I do have a few checks. I have this check, but I don't know about that because, of course, they would take with their rook, and then I would just have a rook and a knight. They have another rook down here. So I don't know that I would want to give up a rook for a pawn. But once they took, I guess I could check, and they would have to go to the... No, they would have two choices then. But I could check here first, and if I check with the rook on d1 first, then they have to come out this way. I think that's their only option at that point. And then that pawn would be pinned while I checked here, but then they could come out this way or get out of check this way. So that might not be the best option either. Should I check first with the knight? But then they would take it. Oh, but then this would be mate. Would they take it? They wouldn't have to. What if I check first? The pawn isn't pinned, so it could take. But again, if the pawn takes the knight on f3, then rook to d1 is mate, because the king couldn't hide behind the pawn anymore because the pawn would be up here. So I don't think they should take. What if they moved over one? If they moved over one toward me to f1, I think this would be mate because the knight cuts off both of those squares and the rooks would protect each other. Okay, what if they moved the other way? Then this would be mate. Okay, so I think this is a mate in 2 no matter what they do. Oh, and it stopped. Oh my goodness. See, the theme is mate in 2, but it didn't go to mate. Clearance sacrifice. I think the themes on this puzzle are really messed up. That's only a clearance sacrifice if they take, and they don't have to take, and it's a mate either way, I'm pretty sure. Just want to see that after they play this, I have a mate in 2 if I play here. Yeah, they have 3 legal moves, and I have a mate in 1. Okay, that's what I thought. So it's not necessarily a sacrifice because they don't have to take. And it's no matter which of the 3 legal moves that they make, I have mate on the next turn. Okay, yeah, I think the themes on that are messed up, but I'm not going to try to correct them because I don't know what it should be. Next puzzle. Okay, I got the black pieces. Is that the 3rd time in a row? Well, I mean, I have a check here. Wait. Let me back up. I usually don't say this. I usually don't look at this first, but I just noticed that's mate. My opponent has mate immediately if I don't check them. So if I check here, they can block with their dark squared bishop. And the only way I could check again is to take it, which I think I would have to do. And then they can't come out here because of my other rook back here on f8. So they would have to, wait, no, they would be there and it would be my turn. Sorry, I got confused about whose turn it was. Okay, check. Their only legal move, as far as I can tell, is to block. Okay, so I check them. That brings them out 1. I can then check with this bishop, and they can't come out because of where my rook is, so they have to go back, and then this would be mate with my other rook on f1. I think that's right. I think I just take here, come down, and then check mate down there. Okay, the theme was back rank, but not mate. Yeah, I'm going to add mate in 3+, and I'm pretty glad I found that. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that was mate in 4. Oh, and I got 14 points. Good job. I like telling myself good job because somebody needs to tell me that. Next. All right. Well, I mean, I could check down here. Let's look at the checks first, but I think they would take, so I'm not going to do that. I have a check here, but they would take. I have a check here, but they could take 2 different ways with either the knight or the queen. They don't have to take down there, but they could. Right? They could either block with the rook again or move out of check or take with the knight, which is what I think they would do. Okay, what about captures? I mean, that's a check and a capture, but wait, maybe that's it? I think that's it. Okay, and I think that's it because I'm pretty sure they would take. They don't have to, right? They could move over, but if they move over, oh, I would have to be really careful because this is mate. Okay, yeah, I have to be really careful here. If they take, which is what I was going to say, if they take, then I have this check, which wins their queen, and then I would have a rook left to their knight. But what if they don't take? What if they move over? I think if they move over, then I have to move this knight somewhere like here, so my queen and rook would protect each other. Okay, I'm going to take the rook. Okay, oh, they did take. Okay, well then it has to be this, right? Oh, I forgot I was going to have the knight left too. I thought I was going to end up with a rook for the knight, but I would have a rook and a knight for their knight. Okay, well, I'm glad I figured it out, but my thinking wasn't entirely unfaulty. All right, well, I have time for a few more of these. Should I keep going? I think I should. All right, let's look at checks. The only checks that I have, the only check singular that I have is taking that bishop. I'm pretty sure on d7. and they would be able to take back 3 different ways. I assume they would take back with the knight because that would help them develop a piece. I don't know that that's great. Would I have any follow-up? That's the question. You know, if I took here and they took back one of those 3 ways, would I have any follow-up? And I don't think that I immediately would. So I think maybe I should leave this here. But if I leave it here, I need to do something even worse or protect it somehow. Like protect it with a pawn or protect it with a knight. Okay, is their queen trapped? The reason that I thought about protecting it instead of taking is because recently in a post-game evaluation analysis, whatever you call it, I had a bishop here pointed at their queen and they blocked with their bishop and I wasn't supposed to take it. I was supposed to leave it there and do something else. Maybe it wasn't that one, but it might have been on the other side. I don't remember exactly. But I remember later Stockfish saying I shouldn't have taken it because my bishop was safe. I should have just left it there because it was protected. So I'm wondering, should I just leave this here and protect it by putting the knight here on c3? Not only does the knight protect the bishop, but it aims at the queen. That's when I thought maybe the queen doesn't have anywhere to go because the bishop gets it there, the pawn gets it there, the knight gets it there. My other knight that I just moved to c3 would get it there. My queen would get it here. My knight on f3 would get it there. My bishop would get it here. Either my knight or queen or king could get it here. My bishop could get it there or the pawn. My queen could take it here. So yeah, the queen is trapped, I think is the idea of this puzzle. Oh, that was right. And they just took my bishop, so I'll take their queen? Okay, so I had to give up the bishop and this knight for their queen, which is good in my opinion. Trapped piece, good. I think I'm getting better. I don't think I would have seen that maybe even a month ago. In fact, on a few puzzles not very long ago, I was missing those or taking a lot longer to find them. Next. Okay, I'm playing with the black pieces. I have them ready to check with a discovered check. If I move this this bishop anywhere, one place I could move it is here, which keeps their king from moving. Wait, is that mate? Well, they would have to block with the knight, but then I would take the knight. I think that's mate because the king can't move because the rook's cutting off all of this and my bishop's hitting there. And, oh no, they can block with the rook and the knight, but only one at a time, and I would take both of them. What about here? Does it still work there? No, because then the king gets out. I think it's here then. Oh, they did block with the rook, but not with the knight. That's their only legal move. Why didn't it keep going? Okay, I could be wrong, but I'm going to check to be sure because right here, obviously I take. Yep, only one legal move, and I only have one move that's mate. The puzzle should have kept going. We keep running into these where the opponent only has one legal move, and then I have an obvious best move, and the puzzle didn't keep going. I think that's unfair to the puzzle solver. In this case, me, but one of these days it's going to be you. All right, well, I have time for at least one more, maybe 2 if I solve them quickly. White to move, that's me, okay. Well, I can take this pawn with check, and the king can't come forward because my pawns are guarding all of these squares. How handy to have all those pawns guarding all those squares. But I have to keep checking, that's the thing. No matter what happens, I have to check, because otherwise they have mate when they promote here. So that's one check, there's a check. That check's pretty bad. What can they do if I check here? They could block with the queen, or they could move out of check. They have 4 options if I check there. Do I have any better checks than that? This check's not good, right? Because they're going to take. I have a check here with the pawn, and they can't come forward into the little hole that I created with the pawn. Normally, when you have a row of pawns like this and you move one of them forward, as soon as you do, you realize, oh no, now there's a weakness. Because right now, all of those squares are covered. But that square will still be covered because of my queen. Is that mate? Because my queen's cutting off all of this, and my pawn's protecting that, and oh my, is that mate with one pawn move? I think that's mate, because I can't see any way out of it or any way to capture it, but just because I doubt myself so often, yep, okay, I see the little pound sign there. Oh, it's called a hashtag now, but it used to be called a pound sign. All right, at least here in the States. So I can suggest a theme there. That was mate in 1, and because I did solve it relatively quickly, I have time for one more. Oh, I've crossed 1300. Okay, good. Oh, wait, I'm in check. Oh, I shouldn't have clicked next. I hate the ones where I'm in check because I have so many ways to get out and they're all wrong. I mean, when I choose them, they're wrong. Oh, wait, I can just take it. But I don't think I should take it because then they would have mate here. No, they wouldn't have mate here because of my knight. Okay, if my knight wasn't there, I think this is mate. No, I could always get out. Okay, never mind. Yeah, should I just take the rook or should I take the pawn or get out of check here? I think I should take the rook. That seems so obvious, but I think it's a trap. What do they play if I take the rook? I don't know what they play. I'm going to take it. Oh, but I said they wouldn't go there because of the knight. But okay, I should take it then. Why did they go there? That couldn't have been their best move. Really? Okay, we know that wasn't a good move. Okay, yeah, the reason that I hesitated so long here is because it seemed like a trap. It seemed like if I did that, then they had something, but they didn't. Okay, so their best move was not, oh wait, really? Oh, I have a mate on them here. That's what, okay, so queen to h5 was not a bad move. It was a desperation because they don't have any choices. And of course I take it, and now no matter what they play, that's mate. Because the king can't get out, king can't move, and they can't block that. They can't get the bishop back, the rook back to block or anything. Wow. Okay, well, I definitely didn't see that, but I was thinking afterward, in a real game, I might come check down here or something, but that's mate. Well, I'm glad I made some progress. I started off at 12 something. I don't remember the exact number, and now I'm at 13 something. And of course, the 23 in a row includes previous videos. Since the last time I missed one today, I only had this many, which is, 8? Looks like 8. Thank you for spending your time here. If the image here still looks a little red or yellow or whatever, I'm still working on it. This is a relatively new webcam, if I didn't mention it in my previous videos. One problem I'm having is that right now it looks kind of red, but when I go to the adjustment screen, it looks right. Also, when I get done recording the video and I look at the resulting file and I play that, it looks too yellow. So all the different players and screens have a slightly different color cast on here, so I'm never sure if I've made this too yellow or too red or too bright or too dark. But at least this time, let me know if you see anything strange. If you made it this far in the video, let me know if the color looks too red to you or too dark or anything that's off about the picture from this new webcam, because it looks a little off to me right now as I'm recording, and it looks off in a different way when I get done recording, if that makes any sense. I'll see you next time.